Hello. We're going to turn the mic on. We're going to turn the desktop audio on. Welcome. It is Raid Train Day. You're going to watch me get a couple things ready because I forgot to add the Raid Train to my Just Chatting screen. So we got to see that. So we're going to... Okay, we're going to switch to the game stream because I forgot how to do this smoothly. So, bear with me. We're going to bounce back and forth on screens for just a minute, but first I'm going to turn the sound down on this game. Okay, it didn't need to be down that much. Okay, that's good. What do we think? Is this good? We'll turn the special effects down, text speed, auto time. Okay. Oh, and we could do full screen. Cool. So, I got the game ready. I gotta come over here and grab my little train. Choo-choo. We're gonna copy. We're gonna pop back over to Just Chatting. This is how to set up your Raid Train on the spot 7 minutes before they come over. It's so cool. Choo-choo. Now we got a Raid Train. And then, of course, we need the progress bar and the alerts. Copy this. Pop over to Just Chatting. How's everyone's Friday morning going? I hope it's going amazing. Okay. Tiltify, you're rude because I worked very hard to make sure the progress bar showed up in this when I set this up. And you're not showing. Let's see if we can refresh it. And will it show up? There we go. We got a progress bar. Oh my gosh, that's tiny. That's tiny. I can't see you. We raised a lot of money so far. That's amazing. I love that for us. So yeah, as I'm getting situated here, our plan today is some queer magic double action double feature with a game. We're starting out with a game called A Pinch of Magic. Hi Graham, my puppy wants some love too. Hi Graham, you want some love? Is your ear itchy? Is your ear itchy? I would pick him up and let you see him, but he doesn't like that so much. No. He acts like he wants attention, but do not dare think about controlling where his body is. No, that isn't a thing we can do. Okay. Distractions. So, yeah, so, that's awesome. I love to hear it. I should double check on the game screen. There, it's showing up there too. Amazing. Okay. So, A Pinch of Magic. It is a slice of life, queer. Wow. I don't know what happened. I don't know where that Stream Elements message came from, but I forgot I had that set up. But thanks for checking out the donate link. We should pin that message. I don't have mods, so give me. I'm glad you. I am not. I thought about it and then I was like, you know what? I just want to see the group. I'm gonna pin this message. What? Why can't I pin this message? I could ban myself. I don't want to pin the message. I probably have to go. I'm gonna go quick and go on the desktop and get that pinned because then it'll be there and handy for people as they hop on board the train. Mute this. And let's go to my channel. And see if, oh, there. It's so much easier on the desktop. Manually unpinned or end of stream. Perfect. There we go. We have our fundraiser message pinned. I think this is how fundraiser raid chains go. I think we're looking good. Yeah, I was. Yeah. I just have one monitor, so I have my game full screen, and then I just use my tiny little bitty phone to keep up with chat and activity feed, which reminds me that is not open. Okay. Yeah, it would be nice. I rearranged things now, so I probably could get my tablet out here, which might be a little bit better, but... Oh, sorry if I slurped. Okay, I'm gonna switch over to the game. Might as well get that ready and, oh, did you see him? Did you see him? Yeah, he's such a cutie. And then, you know, we'll be all ready for the game to show up and chill. Where is game capture? A pinch of magic. That's what we're watching. Okay, you can see it. Yay, game. All right. So that means I gotta move OBS out of the way. Let me make sure my alerts are coming through the right. Yeah, okay. What is my name? Show. We're gonna go they, them, pronouns. That's not a lot of customization. I'm gonna pick this avatar though. Hola! What kind of sound is that to start with? Okay. These are controls. Welcome in! Woohoo! We were just getting started on the game. Perfect timing. You guys don't have to miss anything. I just put in my name. Let me switch to just chatting. Here we are. How was stream? I need to... I don't have any mods yet. I don't usually need them, so otherwise I would shout you out right away, but let me go through, and I have this tiny little phone to read all my chat and everything. So Double D Darcy, welcome in. Thank you for bringing the train. Oh, Frosty Tool shouted you out for me. Yay, I had something set up correctly. I'm so excited. Hello, friends. Ooh, Darcy is a super cool, cute 5'2" kitty who loves to party and play games. She's a mighty little college student by day and a part-time party animal by night. With her claws play, singing, and charity streams, she's a real wife of the party. Come join her for some fun in the sun and maybe even get a little wet. I love that. I love that. All aboard the With Love Rain chain. We've rolled in to spread positivity and good vibes everywhere we go. Let's take a moment to show some love and appreciation for the amazing streamer we're rating today. Your hard work, energy, and positivity are truly contagious, and we see you making a difference. Let's flood the chat with love, smiles, and gratitude. You deserve it. Oh my gosh, I love that raid message. It's so sweet. Okay, so welcome in. We've got D of Clockwork, Vicious Malfunk's been hanging out a little bit, helping me get ready. Love my emotes, thank you. I have some amazing friends in my community that have made emotes over time, and some that I've commissioned, and they come from all over the place, but I love them. Some of them from Etsy. I think my kitty bongos, rainbow kitty bongos. Here's Double D. We got one of those. Ban. Okay. Yeah, let me throw you on here. Can I do that? Can I do that from mobile? That's the question. Nah, it's okay. We're chilling. We'll manage as long as you guys could just bear with me as I catch up. And I'm looking here. Maybe I'll lift my phone up so at least you can see my pretty face while I go through this. Okay, so yes, I totally appreciate the help so far. Storybot, welcome in. Good vibes. Stuart Berlin. That's the band. Oh, there's another one. Ban. No, we don't show booty here. Behave, clock. Alright. There we go. I think we're good. Hopefully I didn't block anybody that came with the train, but that made me uncomfortable. Alright. Okay, no worries. Different vibe here, but I think we're settled in. We're cool. We're gonna play some chill, calm games. Alright. So, I am actually just getting started, so let's switch over. This game is called A Pinch of Magic. It's a queer slice of life visual novel game and a dating sim. I've never played it before. That's all right. I didn't know if they came in or, but that's cool. We're cool. I can let them back in. I think. I'm gonna let them back in. We'll just ask them change the vibes just slightly. Maybe I can't. I don't know. I don't know how to unban them. Sorry. Yeah, that's Coffee Talk is also on my list. So I'm looking forward to trying that game too. So here we go. Let's get into it. I do a little unban would work. Let me try one more time. So, because again, I'm on my stupid mobile phone because I need to get another monitor so I can do 2 screens with my computer. Oh, there it is. Sorry. Unban. There we go. Oh, okay. Well, we'll see. If they come back and there's still an issue, we'll just ban them again. So I am starting a podcast with my sister, and I am doing a little bit of the voice acting space. So I really love these kind of games because they give me an opportunity to just, have some queer joy and also practice my voice a little bit. So I let out a freeing yawn as I leaped down from the bus onto the pavement below, bags in hand. Finally made it. Come back later, I'm sleeping. I love that. Thank you for finding the things that I forgot I still have. I love that. If any commands don't work, it's because I took like a year break from streaming and I don't remember how I set things up anymore. Drinking in the familiar surroundings, I take a moment to execute some quick squats. Really? Awesome, we're fit. The brisk stretchercise is exactly what my compressed muscles ordered, all stiff from the several hour-long bus ride from the city to the sea. I wonder if this is how Jack-in-the-Boxes feel when they pop out. Newly energized, I extend my arms to the tropical sun as if to pluck it from the sky and take in a greedy lungful of delicious sea air. As always, the warm climate here in the coast feels as though it's welcoming me back home, back to the place where I belong. I've missed this, all of it, and ahead of me is a summer-long period of peace and respite. I just graduated high school, and from now on, there'll be no parents, teachers, or peers reminding me with every breath that I'm wading to the end of my teenage years with no direction. Just the sun, the sea, and this place. My destination, the tranquil seaside town of Linsdale. Nestled in a quiet, crescent-shaped cove on the coast, and licked by the starry deep blue waves of the East Sea, some people have taken to affectionately nicknaming it Moon Bay. Yeah, we're pretty chill here, except for when I play Elden Rings. Sometimes I get like, I mean, I'm still pretty chill. I don't rage. I get more sad. A pretty occultic name, all things considered.
You're my friends now. We're having soft tacos later.
Thank you for the follow. I'm glad you're enjoying it here. I don't know how much I'll be
You're my friends now. We're having soft
Fairy,
tacos later.
welcome in. I'm so excited to raid you later today because I have been, I saw you pop up in another raid train Discord, the Buy Pan, I'm pretty sure it was, and I checked out your little blurbs, getting ready to raid you later today, and I think we are gonna vibe. I'm excited to hang out in your chat later. This is the best way, guys. I have a day job that is, it's just a nightmare right now. We'll just put it that way. And I get every other Friday off, and God, if this could be what my work day is like, I would be a lot more eager to get up in the morning. I got up earlier today than I would. If I was working today, I'd probably still be working to drag my ass out of bed. But it always seemed perfectly apt because it's also the town my grandmother, my Baba, calls home, and she just so happens to be an exceptional and absolutely eccentric witch. All these years later, and I still wouldn't put it past her to have coined Moon Babe herself, just because it might help drum up business among the magic folk. For the first time in 3 years, she's asked me to visit this summer, and I can't wait to resume my magic training. My fingers electrified, are already tingling at the prospect. I reach into the pocket of my hoodie, feeling for the letter she sent, making sure it's still there. Cursive on vellum and a wax seal. Yep, nobody except that well-heeled woman would write like this anymore. Oh, I hope I don't spoil anything for you. It's been on my wish. I have a ton of queer visual novels on my wish list, and I should play them more on stream, but right now my energy level has only been high enough for one stream a week, which is where I'm playing Elden Ring through with Mr. Friendship. But woo, I have a couple of raid trains coming up, and I am going to use them to my advantage to play some more of these games because I think they fit. Like, one's this one, which is a love raid train, and then another one is trans empowerment, so queer visual novels work for that. And then we have the BiPan one coming up as well, so lots of opportunities to just be gay. Woohoo! There's no time like the present. Unable to hide my eagerness to see her again, I hoist my bags up to my shoulders and take off at a sprint up the staircase, leaving the bus stop far behind. And once I leap across the threshold of the stairway's end, I see the sight I've longed for and open my lungs wide. Hello, Coffee Curiosities. I'm home. I love that name. Be gay, do crime. Whoop whoop. And a few raid trains, and one of them got me back into an old game I used to play when I was a kid. Oh, I love that for you. For those in chat, Mealy is my sister. She's the one that does the podcast with me. Our pilot episode went out on Monday, and our next episode's gonna drop this coming Monday. I'm so excited. My grandmother's cafe stands before me, a static monument among the other buildings, utterly unchanged, like a moment in time, perfectly preserved the way I will always remember it. It reminds me of my childhood, of iced tea in summer, sea salt ice cream, and freer days spent under Baba's tutelage. That in itself is a rare kind of magic that leaves me spellbound. Oh no, Mealy. It's okay. It doesn't have to be out first thing Monday morning either, so you could work on it Monday too. I think most people, some people might want it for their morning commute, but we'll get there. If it's for their evening commute, that still works. Naturally, my peppy cry draws the attention of several passers-by outside the store, many of whom recognize me and wave in greeting. Well, I'll be, if it isn't friendship. Been a spell since you've been back. Still kept that strange habit of greeting the cafe like it's a person, I see. Well, she's not wrong. I guess I am a little old to be shouting in public. But as Baba used to say, a witch breathes magic and life into all things. Every word is a charm. Every sentence a spell. Oh yes, please. That'd be cool. If you need help researching, let me know. What is this? Return. I must have hit the wrong button. Now that I think about it, it's totally possible she was just hoodwinking an extremely gullible 5-year-old. But well, it's a cute tradition, so who cares? I wave energetically back. Hey there, it's good to see you again. Do you know if my grandmother is about? That question seems to give her pause, and she forces a smile which can only be read as guilty embarrassment. Uh-oh. Oh, you mean she... Well, I'm not too sure. Haven't been in for a coffee for a while, you see. Anyway, nice seeing you, kid. Before I got a chance to respond, she scuffles off over the hill, leaving me stranded in confusion at the shop door. Bum, bum, bum. What in the hemlock was all that about? Glancing over the cafe again, my eyes narrow suspiciously and roam up and down the building. I finally notice one extremely telling clue. It's the height of morning, and yet the curtains are shut tight. Big Sheer still is how quiet it is. Wait, don't tell me. I practically kick the door down in my provoked state, and once inside, all of my suspicions are confirmed. Not only are the lights all switched off, not only are there no customers, not only has the door clearly been left unlocked, with complete disregard to nasty draughts, thieves, or trespassers, but on top of that, Bubba is nowhere to be found. The lingering, mingled fragrance of sweet teas and bitter coffees temporarily catches me off guard, filling my nose and mind with happy memories. But I quickly remember why I'm here. I stomp across the cafe floor in big strides, making a beeline for the door at the far end of the room, a door hidden behind a heavy satin curtain and bewitched to be invisible to all non-magic customers. Bubba? Bubba! Uh-oh. I stop dead in my tracks. In the secret room, piled floor to ceiling with mystical objects, is Bubba's crystal ball table. A table radiating with memories of afternoons sitting in her lap, poring over dusty tomes, and having the wonders of magic whispered in my ear. And now, on that table, clearly awaiting my arrival, is a small paper ornament, an enchanted letter, folded into the shape of a miniature rabbit. When I enter the room, it turns up its ears and bounds up from its slumber, hopping to the table's edge to greet me. I would recognize this magic anywhere. Bubba would while away for hours, folding these little critters for me as I studied, until she had gifted me the entire animal kingdom out of paper, and never failed to put a smile on my face. Which can only mean she's buttering me up for some unsavory news. I skeptically scoop up the paper rabbit in my hand, and at the touch of my finger upon its nose, it unravels itself. Sure enough, my grandmother has inked a note in cursive inside. My dearest friendship, I have run away. What? Since I was the one who invited you to stay with me this summer, I'll venture that this will come as a shock to you. It wasn't part of my plan, but running the cafe was beginning to feel rather droll. Then I remembered it's mugwort season, and also that the witch folk are hosting a mushroom picking festival in the mountains. Much less droll by far. Do not come searching for me. Write to me, though, if you want me to bring you back some mugwort. Otherwise, I shall bring you nothing. Take care of the place while I'm gone. P.S. I hope you have money. The pantry's empty. I love this Bubba. She's just like, this is boring. I'm hopping the fence. I'm out of here. Good luck. Pantry's empty. You can do it. I knew it. That wayward old witch. Slumping onto one of the table's squishy cushions, I throw my arms up in defeat. Oh, French basket cozy. I absolutely should have expected this. Flying through life by the seat of her pants, living by her every whim, dropping things when they no longer suit her. This entire situation reaches into the far recesses of my mind.
My friends now. We're having soft taco
Thank you
later.
for the follow. Welcome in. Kurt Cobain. Reporting for duty. The entire situation reaches into the... Oh, yeah. Conjuring up echoes of countless other past examples of how mercurial Bubba could be. Closing up at noon to go skinny dipping in the ocean, hosting a luau party, then passing out after an hour on her own deadly magic punch. Her crimes of capriciousness knew few bounds. She may have taught me everything I know of magic, but early on I had to master brewing tea and coffee, not just potions, just to keep this place running smoothly. It suddenly dawns on me exactly why that passerby had acted so suspiciously. I bet she cut and run days ago. and told everyone in town not to breathe a word. Yep, sounds about right. No matter how you cut it, she's just running from her responsibilities again. I seriously have no clue how she managed to keep this place running all these years. My lips pressed themselves into a thin, stubborn line. Mugwort tea is my favorite, though. I guess it's time to go shopping. An hour or so later, I've made begrudging progress on the cafe's sewing state. With the door now locked and the curtains still tightly drawn, I make use of the privacy by enchanting Bubba's dustpan and broom and setting them to work on the floor. Ooh, at least she doesn't have to do manual labor to clean the place. Ugh. They whiz about the room in a waltz, making quick work of any dust or grime in their path. After a brief inspection, all that remains is in the fridge is a curdled bottle of milk. The pantry cupboards had also been harboring nothing but dust, but were saved earlier by a trip to the local supermarket. This West Coast guy is fall asleep soon. Aww, no worries. Get some good rest. It was nice to have you here and usher in the train and keep me company while I got set up. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Friday. Rest in peace, poor wallet. Luckily, it also seems the cafe's more expensive wares are in plentiful stock. The exotic plethora of tea leaves and unground coffee beans have been safely stored in bags and dry containers. The siphons, mills, and other apparatus, too, are in good working order. Knowing Bubba's devil-may-care attitude, the situation here could have been far worse. I should count my blessings. She didn't let any rats inside those sacks. That rhymed. That moment, as if my words had personally offended her efforts, Bubba's cat slinks into the room and up onto the counter to glare at me. There you are, Hannibal. What an interesting name for a cat. A witch's familiar reduced to a rat catcher. How the mighty fall in the wrong hands. But since you don't have anything better to do, if you see any about, you be sure to let me know. When I reach across the counter to scritch beneath her neck, she forgets her grumpiness in a heartbeat and pads off into the bedroom for an afternoon nap. With the dustpan and broom soon done with their work, I thank them for their service and quickly finish putting the cupboards in order. After a satisfying stretch, I pull back the curtains to survey the place triumphantly. Watch out, Linsdale. We're back in business. I'm gonna adjust. Where's my settings? No. What's this? Oh. Load, save, options. There we go. Okay. And then we'll also save. So I guess we're here. Okay. I missed it even more than I thought I would. Not too rusty though, thankfully. Now then, the last port of call is to flip that sign, and after that, I guess it's time to brew some criminally delicious coffee. Come on, I want to get into the dating part. Hurry up. But as soon as I step outside, I pause. My senses are once more splashed by the salty air, the sun's warmth, and the far-off songs of a soaring flock of seagulls. And in my line of sight, the sea itself, a shimmering crystal blue expanse calling me back to its edge. Well, I've worked pretty hard, if I do say so myself. Just a little stretch of the legs beforehand couldn't hurt. And so with slow, meandering strides, I cross the pavement and pace down the small stone staircase, heading for the beachfront. Beachfront, beachfront, beachfront. I take my time enjoying the afternoon breeze and the journey all the way to the boardwalk and beyond. When I reach the beach edge, I slide off my shoes and press on, free and barefoot in the sand. It softly envelops my feet as I walk, like a floor made of satin. The waves, too, are like rolls of crystalline satin sheets being unraveled onto the shore, rolling over rocks, shells in themselves, and then gently slipping back to their source. As ever, Moon Bay, you're almost too perfect for words. I plop myself down in the stand, stretching out my legs and searching along the water's surface for something. I wonder if she's still out there. But before I continue that thought, the phone in my back pocket hums, and when I retrieve it, I see several texts incoming from my parents. Their messages cascade simultaneously into the group chat, making it plainly obvious they're both sitting beside each other, typing with a joint agenda. Did you arrive safely? You forgot to text us. We were worried. How's Baba? Is she doing well? How's her back? And there it is. I sighed, typing back my regular response whenever they awkwardly attempt to bring her up. If you're that worried, you could always, try talking to her yourself, Dad. I'm sure she'd like to hear from you. From both of you. After a brief exchange ending in, I love yous all around, I fling my phone to the side and fall back onto the sand bed. The history between my parents and Baba was fractured, to say the least. In this world, where so few people are gifted with the ability to wield magic, we hide what we are for an easier life. Hundreds of years ago, those without the gift feared us, prosecuted us, and worse. The world was messy. The witch folks decided almost unanimously that it was better to fade into anonymity than cause trouble. Nowadays, as far as the rest of normal society is concerned, it's known that we exist out there somewhere, but rarely do you see a witch shouting it from the rooftops, despite the good I know we do. There's no glory in it at all. So as far as my parents and Baba, well, Baba had always been an immensely talented witch. The first time I was sent here to stay with her for the summer, I was 3. She showed me a few simple spells, and even though I could barely speak, I guess I was a natural. I still remember her sweeping me up when I successfully levitated a paperclip. She was so giddy, it was impossible for her to contain herself. But my parents were different. They never taught me magic, never encouraged me to learn it. All they wished for me was an utterly normal life. They asked Baba to stop teaching me, and that was that. Or so they thought. When they found out I'd flown in the face of their disapproval and had
now. We're having soft
tacos later. Pick City, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Hope you're having a lovely Friday as we bully our little visual novel game, A Pinch of Magic. We're just having a good chill time, raising money for American Heart Association. I realize I don't know. No, I should hear the sound if anybody does a donation. I'm like managing from my mobile phone, so I don't know. It doesn't have the best controls. Words. If they're not written on the screen, they're not in my brain, I guess. Alright, so I'd secretly been studying hard under Baba every summer for 10 years. Oh boy. I remember that day. Dad's face went a shade of blue I didn't think was possible outside of being hexed. After that, their relationship became strained. They stopped talking. I became their mediator, their owl, ferrying messages back and forth. I stopped visiting Linsdale for a while to give them all time to cool off. A normal life. A boring life, devoid of magic. I feel empty just at the thought of it. But honestly, I don't really have the first clue about what I want to do in the future. If only witch folk didn't have to hide who we are. As I raise myself back up to hug my knees, I realize that I've been absent-mindedly dragging a finger through the sand all this time. I've drawn nothing remotely artistic, of course, just a bunch of badly drawn swirls that barely resemble shapes at all. These are almost as terrible as Kia's. A spark ignites a recollection in my mind, a spark which sends me flying back to before I'd been interrupted to my parents' messages. Back to thoughts of a friend from long ago. My eyes meet the sea again. He is home. My childhood friend, who had been as much a part of my summers in Linsdale as my grandmother. She was an extraordinary person in her own right, a mermaid who befriended a witch. Shy and a little fumbling in the beginning, she barely grasped human language. Kia was just about the only sound she could make. Oh yeah, have fun adulting, we gotta do the things. I'll see you later today. We'd communicate by drawing shapes in the sand, and though hers were terrible, I got pretty good at deciphering them. I could still clearly remember our first meeting here on the shore. I was 5. Mom and Dad had just asked Baba to stop teaching me magic, and I was wailing into the ocean at the top of my lungs. And it was only once my tears had dried up that I noticed a curious baby mermaid who'd snuck away from home to investigate the surface was peering at me through the waves. As I reminisce, a smile spreads across my face. Kia, that's right. I wonder if she and her family even still swim in these waters. With renewed purpose, I leap up and dust myself off. I tread up and down the beach, scanning the waves for any sign of movement. But, unsurprisingly, I don't find a trace of her anywhere. There isn't a fin in sight. Well, that'll teach me for being willfully optimistic, as if mermaids would ever venture this close to shore. They'd be found out in a heartbeat. Still, I haven't exhausted all the tricks up my sleeve just yet. Determined, I set off up and down the beach once again, this time with my eyes to the sand, scouring the golden floor for a very particular object. And finally, wedged between some barnacle rocks, I find exactly what I'm looking for. A prismatic conch, shimmering and weighty to the touch. And more importantly, in the hands of a witch, it's a horn that when blown can sing a song only a mermaid could hear. It was an ancient spell Baba had taught me as a child, used by the old witches in times of strife to call mermaids to their aid. And together, Kia and I had repurposed it. Since the day we met, it had been my way of communicating to her. I'm here. I want to see you. Well, I suppose there's only one way to find out if she's still out there listening for me. As a precaution, I spin about, checking for onlookers. But this corner of the beach is deserted. So reaching into the recesses of my mind for the ancient spell, I pluck out its melody, note by note, and whisper my request to the shell at my fingertips. White of the waves my bottomless heart be, an ocean of love, built just for thee. And if thou art astray in far away foam, the song of my sea will call you home. As the conch begins to gleam, I gather my breath and blow gently into its tip. But no matter how many times I call, Kia doesn't appear. The waves simply keep rolling over the sand at my feet, slowly soaking in and causing me to sink. So she left in search of somewhere better after all. No Baba and no Kia. This surely was shaping up to be a pretty miserable summer, and the pang of pain I feel in my chest is sudden but not unexpected. 3 years ago, when I said goodbye and left Linsdale, I didn't know it would be the last time. I didn't get a chance to tell her. Somewhat sad, my shoulders droop a little. She always was so timid and unsure of herself. Wonder if she waited every summer for me to come back, and I never did. But never one to let sadness get the better of me for long. I clap my cheeks together. At the very least, I know that right now what I can do is see her off with a smile. I'm sorry, Kia, but I hope wherever you are, you're swimming happy. And that your drawings don't suck anymore. After exhaling my feelings cathartically into the afternoon air, I turn heel and head backwards towards the stairs. It's time to open the cafe for the evening. But as my head swims with thoughts of coffee beans, recipes, and measurements, I forget to check for obstacles in my path, and before I know it, what? I collide with someone else. Oh, I'm so sorry. Please excuse me. The bump had successfully knocked me down a stair or two, but as I shake off the pain, her eyes meet mine. Her golden irises, her amethyst hair. Everything about her beauty is dazzling, and it temporarily catches me off guard. I'm grateful she seems unharmed. I run my fingers through my hair, somewhat embarrassed. Not at all. I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention either. Are you all right? Yes, Her quiet voice trails quickly off, but she continues to stare at me with great intensity, looking me up and down with wide eyes. That's right, the cafe. I don't have time to be wasting here. So I flash her a polite smile and, shooting back up the hill, excuse myself. Well, I'm sorry again. Have a nice evening. Large, leaping strides bring me back to the cusp of the hill in record time, with the afternoon sky already fading into an orange glow. Evening is practically here. I have no concrete grasp of how long Bubba's Cafe has been closed since she cut and run, but there's one thing I know for certain, and that's that I don't want to keep the Linsdale patrons waiting any longer. It's funny, if I let slip that Bubba's irresponsibleness is what put me into this mess in the first place. I'm actually excited. Rushing about, serving special blends, putting smiles on customers' faces. It was difficult at first, maybe, but I grew to love it. Positive vibes, friendship. Maybe this will be a good summer after all. With renewed energy, I begin to mentally roll up my sleeves. But just as I round the corner, an unpleasant sight makes my newly buoyed mood sink faster than a stone anchor. What the? Directly outside the cafe, pulled unceremoniously up onto the curb, is a garish red sports car. It's brand new and clearly far too expensive to belong to any resident in Linsdale. Are you serious? What sort of self-centered idiot parks their car square in front of a shop entrance? Already ticked off, I watch as an elderly man with a cane struggles to shuffle through the gap in the pavement, grasping at the cafe wall for support. Yay, we got Pokemon! He gets his revenge as he passes by, though, flipping the bird to the car's tinted windows as he goes. Ha! You go, Grandpa! And if I had any doubts that this gaudy ride would spell trouble, they're blown away as soon as the driver steps outside. A tall, blonde fop in sunglasses and a jean jacket slams the door behind himself, yawning loudly. Leaning back lazily onto the car roof, he slips his sunglasses into his hairline and clicks his tongue at the elderly man's back. I'm about to storm up and give him a piece of my mind when he pulls out his phone, the latest model it looks like, and begins snapping up landscape shots of the cafe. May I help you? Sliding his free hand casually into his back pocket, he turns to flash me a smile. It's so not cute. Are you the owner? I square up my shoulders as much as humanly possible, arms folded crossly. Yes, I am. Name's Friendship. And I don't appreciate you blocking the door my customers use. Customers? He cockily raises an eyebrow and looks around at the now very empty street. He pulls the sunglasses once or twice in a mocking motion. Huh. Well, how's about that? I guess my prescription's wrong, because I don't see a single soul sniffing around. Looks like what you have here is a bona fide dead spot. Dead spot? You better not be insulting my cafe. Another condescending smile slowly stretches across his face. He's clearly looking down on me and doesn't care to provide any kind of answer. He just continues on, ignoring my question. Not an insult per se. As it so happens, this is exactly the sort of place I'm looking for. With a twinkle in his eye, he straightens up and spins his phone into both hands. His whole demeanor changes as he begins typing onto the screen with lightning speed. So, what's your specialty here? Cafe Cubana, Chinese teas, matcha? You do serve something other than salty tap water, I assume. Sure, there's a bottle of rancid milk in the fridge with your name on it. Yes, all of those things. We aren't some backwater cafe that only serves standard drip swill. So you run this place with someone else? My grandmother. She's not here right now. Uh-huh. And what's this place called? Are you freaking kidding me? Look at the damn sign, poster boy. I sigh, loudly and dramatically. Coffee Curiosities. His fingers pause their tapping for a moment. He takes the time to raise a smug eyebrow at me. Right. Bravo. No, really. It's inspired. A little desperate, only slightly nauseating. He stands up straight and takes one more large, gulping glance at the cafe's facade. Then he flips his phone and snaps a headshot of my startled face. What the fuck, dude? It's a perfect blend of material for my blog, that is. Your blog? He gives me a look that is equal parts smug and pitying. It's perhaps the most punchable expression I've ever seen. You have no idea who I am, do you? No? Wait. But now that I get a really good look at him, he actually does look somewhat familiar. Here, a souvenir. Don't bend it now, it's premium embossed. With a wink, he slips a business card into my hand. Fancy gold script spells out Cuisine Blogger and the name Mikhail. Thanks. Guess I'll use it when I run out of toilet paper. I snap the card from his fingers, making sure to look thoroughly unimpressed. As I do, his smarmy veneer cracks, just a little at that. Charmed, I'm sure. Now then, let's hope your coffee wildly lives up to my expectations, shall we? I can feel my blood boiling. The way that smirk plays at the edge of his mouth, it's perfectly obvious what his expectations are. Like, oh no, you missed the Pokemon. Rude. Though I still can't place his face, I've read about bloggers just like him. Vindictive types, traipsing around the country, targeting coffee shops with small customer bases, searching for the worst of the worst for their scathing reviews, like sharks feasting on krill. You got scammed! For a second time, I slide my gaze grimly over his red sports car with his ostentatious wheels, shiny mirrors, and waxed gleam. I suppose when you're the scum on the surface of the industry, it doesn't matter if you destroy businesses wherever you go, as long as those clicks keep coming. Well, he's not going to drag Baba's Cafe through the mud on my watch. So, here I am, in the flesh, your only paying customer and all that. I drove 2 hours from the city to find this place. Aren't you going to let me in? I stride up to the door and start to unlock it, but inwardly that boiling blood is starting to boil over. I'm in no mood to play nice. In fact, just for the audacity of coming here and trying to mess with a witch's business, I'm perfectly happy to play just a little dirty. With the help of some magic. Slipping my hand inconspicuously behind my back, I start to weave a spell in the air. I step towards him, all the while, a sweet smile plastered on my face. Sure, I don't have a problem with that. You're welcome to try my coffee. Quickest way to get you off my property. But you might not want to step inside just yet because... do we want to distract or prank? Our first decision of the game. I'm feeling a little pranksterish, especially because he's like a real rude prude dude. We're gonna prank you. You left the handbrake off on your car. Huh? He spins about just in time to see his shiny red ride slowly slipping back down the hill on loosened wheels. He hasn't in, of course. Bianca, come back! I like it. Good choice. I'm happy with that choice. Mikhail bolts immediately, tripping over himself down the uneven cobbled street in pursuit. Psh, that car's moving so slowly, he'll manage. It's fine, right? Bianca! Ah! And down goes Mikhail like a sack of spuds. His face acquaints itself with the pavement with a colossal clap. Oops. Uh-oh. The car, too, reaches the steep incline and starts to speed up. Nobody is going to catch it on foot now. I stretch out my arms, frantically inking a new magic circle in the airspace around me, but I'm unable to cast the reversal magic in time, and the car careens into a lamppost. After a few teetering seconds, said lamppost tips forward, but thankfully stops just short of smashing into the roof. Oops. Ah! Mikhail rushes forward and falls upon the car in misery, like a man whose soul has been crushed. Bianca, my darling, no, no. Oh God, Father is going to kill me. Bring. With timing so impeccable, I'm almost convinced I'd somehow cast a second spell. Mikhail's phone explosively starts to ring. Upon seeing the caller ID, the blood drains from his face. Beep. Father, it's good to hear from you. No, I'm fine. You're back from Hawaii? Well, yeah, of course I can. But, Father? About the car you bought me? Well, see, it's a funny story. Having completely forgotten about me, Mikhail woefully shuffles away out of earshot to take the phone call. That wasn't my fault, right? Nah, accident friendship, not vandalism. Just an accident. Yep. Nothing to worry about. And so, mostly smug, yet just ever so slightly regretting my influence on this turn of events, I take the opportunity to back away through the cafe door, swinging the sign to open along the way. Maybe you deserved it a little, though. The minutes and the tens of minutes painfully tick by. Not a single potential customer steps inside or even hazards a peek through the windows. I start by leaning over the counter, head in palms, alternating between watching the clock hands and the bell above the door, but I quickly get bored and my twitchy hands tap the counter, searching for something to do. Mikhail's business card is nearby, exactly where I'd thrown it earlier. So I retrieve it and twirl it around absentmindedly. Let's find out how famous this guy really is. Whoa, seriously? A quick phone search pulls up hundreds of results. Blog posts with hits into the tens of thousands. Sponsorship ties to the prominent worldwide cafe chain Moonbugs. A hefty follower base on social media, and even a narcissistic modeling portfolio of monochrome, shirtless photographs. Just great. As if I don't have enough problems right now. What's with these pictures? He's dripping wet in half of them. Did someone turn on a hose or something? Is that supposed to be attractive? So stupid. Now more irked than ever, I chuck my phone aside and go back to watching the clock. All this inactivity is doing nothing except stiffening my muscles and making me anxious. 30 minutes and not a whiff of anyone, not even one of the regulars. This can't be right. I recall my previous summers here, when there were always non-magics and witch folk around, mingling, joking, and shooting friendly banter back and forth with Baba. Back then our cafe had never seemed wanting for patrons. Each day a steady stream of satisfied customers would come and go at an even pace. It had never been busy, but it was comfortable. Surely it's unlikely there'd be a lot of witch folk making the trip right now. No doubt they're all up on that mountaintop with Baba, picking mugwort and betting on drunken duels. But for there to be no non-magics around either? I glance back at the clock, disappointed by what I see. It's far too late now to be trying to pluck customers off the street. But if I root around, there may be something of use lying around somewhere. So, determined to be productive in some capacity, I trawl through some of the lower kitchen cupboards, hoping to find something to use to attract new customers in the morning. Sensing activity, Hannibal slinks into the kitchen and curls around my leg with a pointed meow. She leads me to a hatch under a rug on the floor, below one of the opened cupboards. Nice! Good job, Hannibal! She purrs silkily and continues to circle around as I rummage through the contents of the hatchbox. There isn't much of use, but I do stumble on an old signboard for advertising and some pastel chalk sticks. This is perfect. If I spruce it up a little, it'll do for a mini menu at the end of the street. Hannibal pokes her little head beneath my arm, demanding scritches for her hard work. I'm so distracted I fail to hear the bell chiming at the door. Good girl! Who's been going to get some fishy wishies tonight? That's right, you are. Excuse me? Just a second. I'll be right with you. Clutching the bruised crown of my head that just exchanged blows with the cupboard door, I totter embarrassedly back to my feet and heave myself over the counter. A radiant sight greets me. Oh, hello. Fishy wishy? Sorry, I was talking to the cat. Oh, I remember you. Oh, nope, hit the wrong button again. My tummy's go rumbly. We're gonna have to take a short little break, and I need a coffee refill and some breakfast, but we'll finish the scene first, and then we'll do a little BRB. Her eyes visibly sparkle, and her cheeks pinken. You do? Of course. The lady from the beach, right? I'm so sorry again for bumping into you back there. Oh, no, that's quite all right. So that's what they meant. Somehow she looks kind of sad. Did I say something wrong? An awkward silence settles over us. As it stretches on, she starts to comb a finger nervously through a loose curl of hair. Well, this is a fine way to start the evening, by making my only customer uncomfortable. Applying my kindest, most sincere smile, I gesture towards one of the seats at the counter. I can at least salvage the situation by acting professional now. Where are my manners? You're here to order, right? What can I get you? We have a menu around here somewhere. As I rummage around behind the counter, though her body language is shy, the woman's striking, sandy eyes watch me intently. I can't help but feel a little nervous. Ah, here it is. I slide the menu across the counter, a lavish, high-end tablet listing all our served items, including coffee blends, black, white, and green teas, small meals, and desserts. But this tablet, much like the cafe itself, has a mystical secret up its sleeve. A coffee cup-shaped tab on the screen, enchanted to be invisible to non-magic customers, conceals a hidden second menu, one that displays some of Bubba's oldest potions and other recipes designed for more magical patrons. I admit I was surprised earlier to find such a thing myself. A paper menu was all that had existed before. But the tablet looks brand new and screams impulse purchase, which unfortunately also happens to be one of Baba's many bad habits. The woman graciously takes the tablet from me. Tucking a periwinkle curl behind one of her stylish earrings, she begins scrolling intuitively through the menu. She's so elegant and glamorous, and her eyelashes have this beautiful, dewy quality to them, like black waves breaking on the beach at night. So strong was that association, I was curiously struck by a sense of familiarity. But then... You have nothing new on the menu, I take it? Ah, sorry. You could say I'm somewhat of a regular here. I know this place and its owner very well. Oh, then I take it you also know my grandmother is out of town right now? I do, but it's no trouble at all. I didn't come here today to see her. She tilts her head shyly. It's a devastating move, but I don't think she's doing it on purpose. Is she enjoying her vacation? Oh, yeah, I'm sure she's having a whale of a time. She pulls stunts like this far too often. I'm half convinced she dragged me back here just to rope me into running the place for a few weeks. The woman shuffles somewhat bashfully in her seat, lowering her eyes to her lap. Well, if it brought you back to Linsdale, then I'm glad she did. Just think of this as a salacious encounter. Did she mean to say serendipitous? With a gentle smile, she clears her throat and taps the screen with her nail. The highlighted drink is the salty kelp latte, a popular sea-based item from the secret menu. This one, if I may, it's my usual order. Sure thing, it'll be just a moment. I flash her a knowing smile before stepping over to the kitchen area to prepare her order. As I lay my hands on the glass bottle of kelp leaves, a spark of inspiration hits me. And so I... Prepare it with some magic. We wanna use some magic. With nobody else here, why be ordinary when I can afford to be a little flamboyant? With a snap of my fingers and a series of illuminated shapes traced in the air, the ingredients heed my call and begin to dance around me in a flourish. A dash of seawater, a pinch of sugar, and the star of the show, salty kelp. The kelp blades weave their way through the air until they collide and pirouette, crushing themselves into a fine powder. It falls like emerald snow into the basin of a china cup that dances its way into the woman's hands. Wow! It's so... Ooh, we got an achievement! We got a show-off achievement! Wow, it's so... pretty cool, huh? But the magic show's not finished yet. Last to arrive is the steamed milk, unfurling itself from a nearby jug like a porcelain ribbon. It winds its way into the cup, slowly mixing with the other ingredients. As the last drop falls, I bring my palms forward to bless the drink with one final drop of something special. A pinch of magic. And now for the finishing touch. Could you tell me your name? She looks agitated, as if she has particular trouble answering the question. It's, Kiana! Is this our mermaid? Did we find our childhood friend mermaid and now we're gonna be in love? We didn't pick up on that? We didn't pick up on that? Are you kidding me? Alright, sit tight, Kiana. Kia and Kiana, are you really? What? I reach across the counter for a thin, nozzled bottle filled with caramel and in small, delicate letters write her name across the milk foam. And there we have it. Bon appetit. And she puts the drink to her lips. The warm steam brings a soft flush to her cheeks. A small, content sigh escapes her as she returns the cup to the saucer. So my salty kelp latte. Oh, we did get it! We did get it! Does it meet a mermaid's approval? Yes, very much so. It's gumptious. Glad to hear it. But I'm pretty sure you mean scrumptious. Oh, my goodness. This is embarrassing. Human language is still so hard? Right. I've been studying so much, but I still mess up all the time. Her whole face breaks out in a fierce flush. The quiet elegance I'd seen in her earlier has completely peeled away. Nothing could have prepared me for this. It's like her demeanor has done a complete 180. I thought she was demure, but I guess she's just shy about making mistakes in front of a human. Either way, it's absolutely adorable. Don't apologize. It's cute. The way you mix up your words. It reminds me of... Huh? No way! Really? You're taking me on a roller coaster here. Well, you know she's a mermaid. Her name is almost exactly the same. And you didn't catch on? I don't know if I can keep playing this game. That's such a disappointment. Now we are on the same page. This is your childhood friend mermaid. Kia? And so I've been visiting the cafe ever since my Brinling ended. I suppose I look quite different now, don't I? That's quite the understatement. I didn't recognize you at all. An hour later, Kia and I are sitting together, lattes in hand at the counter. We have been talking so animatedly, I barely think either of us has paused for a breath. By now, I recognize her familiar shyness and her adorable mannerisms, but I have to admit, seeing her adult human form for the first time is still throwing me for a loop. Perfectly understandable when I consider she still looked like a child 3 years ago. The changes to her face, in particularly, are profound, but not unexpected. After all, I know very well that mer people experience growth very differently from humans. A mer person's childhood, their Brinling period, would last from the time they hatched until they reached a normal age of human adolescence. Throughout the Brinling, mer children would barely appear to age at all, maintaining a childlike appearance for years and years. And then at the Brineling's end, what awaited them was a highly accelerated transformation into an adult body and the ability to adopt a human form. After I met Kia, because we couldn't really communicate at first, I remember wanting to learn more about her kind. I found out about the Brineling and the change through one of Baba's old books. As I also recall, I had to climb up her bookcase like a monkey to get it and slipped on the way up. Kia cried for hours when I turned up at the beach, covered in bruises. So when did your Brineling end? When I was about 17. It was a year and 3 months after you left. Not that I was counting. When she catches me smiling, Kia turns away and scrambles for a drink. It's the cutest thing. But I'm suddenly reminded of something else. Wait. Earlier, didn't you say your name was Kiana? Well, after you didn't seem to recognize me at the beach, I was a little embarrassed. She sighs heavily, resting her hand over her heart. And even though I came to the cafe just to see you again, I still couldn't bring myself to say anything. Oh, but Kiana is the land name I've chosen for myself. So I wasn't exactly lying to you. I just had trouble pronouncing it when we were children. I do use it around Linsdale. My family in the ocean still uses my sea name, of course. I probably shouldn't pry into that. Mermaid sea names are private, intimate things after all. I guess I should be careful not to call her Kia too much around town though, either. With that niggling question out of the way, I loop the conversation back around to what really matters. So how was it? Your change, I mean. Oh, it was better than I expected. The growing chains were bad for a while, but compared to the others who experienced it at the same time, my change was relatively quick. She takes the last few sips of her latte, then lays the empty cup down and fingers it pensively. I'm just happy that my outside finally matches who I am inside. When we used to play on the beach together, we couldn't go far because, well... I chuckle as I head back around the kitchen counter to wash our cups and saucers. No legs? Right. You were growing up, and in my mind, I was growing up with you. But physically, for me, nothing was changing, and every year, it felt like you were getting further and further away, and there was nothing I could do about it. We used to draw so many shapes in the sand, all the things I wanted to do, all those places I wanted to visit. But because of me, we couldn't do any of it. Her eyes glaze over. She suddenly looks quite dejected. Not wanting to watch her beat herself up, I take her hand in mine. But we can now, right? Exactly. No more hiding in the rock pools or covering up her fins with a blanket I brought from the cafe. We can stray as far from the beach as we like now. Go anywhere we want. Now that you have your human form, the world is your oyster. You just let me know what you want to do, and we'll go do it. It works like a charm. Kiana's sandy eyes light up, and she leans across the counter, brimming with excitement. Okay. Oh, but with your grandmother gone, you'll be working here full time, won't you? Then, until we can do something, I'll just stop by every day to see you. I shrug my shoulders, gesturing towards the empty room in an exaggerated way. Thanks. I'd appreciate the company in more ways than one. As you can see, this place isn't exactly hopping. Without a regular or two, quite honestly, I might struggle to make ends meet this summer. And based on today, I'll take just about any customer I can get. Anyone but that vain fop, anyhow. The more I remember his smug face, the crabbier I get. It's at that point when I realize that I'm not so much drying the cups as grinding the tea towel into them that jingle jingle. The bell at the door rings a second time. Welcome, just take a seat and I'll be with you straight. Speak of the devil. Mikhail strides inside, looking the interior over with both hands shoved into his jean pocket with a slightly furrowed brow. He's looking decidedly less cool and collected than this afternoon, though it's obvious he's trying his best to mask it. Nice place you have here. The drafty cracks in the walls are a particularly nice feature. He is not cute. Not at all. My jaw joints creak like unoiled metal as I force a smile. Linsdale's tourism prides itself on the town's invigorating, beachy sea breeze. Why deprive our customers just because they're indoors? Cute. Very cute. Sensing Kiana's discomfort, I gesture to the counter seats with an audible huff. Well, sit down if you're here to order. You are here to order. Mikhail slides into the seat directly beside Kiana. He beams obnoxiously as he pulls out his phone. Of course, and I don't need a menu. Just serve me your best attempt at coffee. You going to pay for it? Please, of course I will. I'm not trying to put you out of business. Though I retreat to the back of the kitchen to begin scooping and grinding the coffee beans, I keep one watchful eye on Mikhail at all times. Thankfully, though, his gaze is still roaming all over the interior. He isn't trying to snap pictures. But it's obvious he's searching for something. A juicy tidbit, a draw for his story. And so after his eyes complete the rounds of the decor, they naturally come to fall on his neighbor. Are you a regular here? Yes, I come here almost every week. His eyes widen in genuine surprise. Really? What's your usual order? If it's that good, maybe I should have ordered that too. Oh, She flutters her eyes to me, begging for assistance, but I'm way ahead of her. I make the 3 strides back to the counter in a heartbeat and step in. She's a special customer. Her order's not on the menu, and it's, shall we say, an acquired local taste. I doubt you'd like it. Gotta admit, though, I'm sorely tempted to put seawater in his coffee just for the heck of it. Must resist. Well, that's a shame. You'll have to let me in on the secret of that drink sometime, miss. Ever sweet and polite, Kiana holds out her hand to introduce herself. Kiana. Just Kiana is fine. And, I'm afraid I don't know much about the recipe. Or coffee, for that matter. Just as I become concerned that Mikhail might be about to defile Kiana's hand with a kiss, another one of those pretentious business cards appears in his hand, and he drops it into hers. Enchanté, Mikhail, and I just happen to be an expert on coffee. Cafe blogger. Oh. Cuisine? It's pronounced cuisine, Kiana. It means food. I turn to Mikhail and scramble for a cover-up. She's not from around here. But her accent. He doesn't look convinced at all, but thankfully, Kiana's pure-hearted curiosity comes to the rescue. You write about food? Then you're here to write about coffee curiosities. Yes, that's the intention. No doubt you've heard of my... but Kiana has already stopped listening. Friendship, this is perfect. Now you won't have to worry about finding customers. Once he tastes your coffee, he's sure to love it. And if he writes something good, people will come from all over Linsdale. Kiana, my sweet summer child, your innocence is wasted on him. He's not that kind of blogger. As I slowly turn the coffee grinder, I give Mikhail a disapproving side eye, and he shifts in his seat. The twitchy guy sitting beside you only visits coffee shops he expects to be bad. His blog is just a collection of hatchet jobs designed to be shocking and to tank any business he writes about. He's only here because he thinks my coffee is going to taste so undeniably terrible it'll make for a juicy article. With one last yank, I grind the last of the coffee beans into dust. Or have I missed anything out? Mikhail practically rolls his eyes into the next century. Hey now, you make it sound like I'm the enemy here. Ask my darling readers, and they'll tell you the only two things I'm guilty of in this business are being criminally handsome and honest. And the coffee they served at all of those other cafes just happened to be honestly awful. So just think of it this way. This is your perfectly fair chance to impress me. Not that you will. I've savored all the finest blends this world has to offer. But you're welcome to try. It seems to take Kiana a few moments to process all of this information. I guess she still isn't all too knowledgeable about this side of human society yet. But once it does click into place, she looks crushed. But that's... How could you do something like that to hardworking people? That's so despicable. Oh, and I guess that one was supposed to be despicable. I'm happy she has my back, but Kiana's just wasting her breath. Besides, this coffee critic just unwittingly challenged a witch. I'm not the one who's about to be eaten alive. It's all right, Kiana. He has the right to do what he likes, and so do I. All I have to do is prove him wrong. So go ahead. With a single finger, I slide the cup across the counter in one fluid motion. It stops just shy of Mikhail's hand, taunting him like a gauntlet being laid down in a declaration of war. It emits a powerful bitter aroma, so tantalizing that it clings to the air and doesn't let go. A mouth-watering aroma no person could resist. The secret house blend, with a little pinch of something special mixed in. I sneak Kiana a mischievous wink, and she understands my meaning implicitly. Drink up. You won't be disappointed. Well, what's the matter? You should drink it before it gets cold. I won't let you use that excuse that it was bad simply because you ruined its flavor by letting it sit too long. Brimming with devilry, I decide to push him just a little harder. As the expert here, you wouldn't make that mistake, would you? Watching him squirm and tug at the collar of his jacket, I realize I'm enjoying myself far too much. Still, I don't take my eyes off him. I stare him down until he finally gives in, puts the cup to his lips, and... all that bravado, and it's mediocre after all. But he takes another sip. Exactly. It's completely... and another. Completely... and another, and another, and another. He drinks and drinks until the veneer rips away, and he finally throws his head back, shamelessly chugging the hot liquid until he has lapped up every drop, and the bottom of the cup is all that remains. Ha! Hunching over, he slams the cup down on the counter and stares at it in numb disbelief. He's shaken and a little breathless. and there's something clouded about his expression. Delicious. Da-da-da! We were successful! He loved our coffee! And with that being said, we're going to take a little IRL coffee break. So I'm going to put us on the Be Right Back screen, and we'll see you in a few minutes. Where's my... Follow stream. Oh, BRB. Hello, we're back. Had a little breakfast, refilled my coffee. Now we can get back to our game. Also, just a quick reminder that the message should be pinned at the top if you haven't already donated to the raid. To the charity American Heart Association for Heart Month. You can do that there. Also, if anybody's hanging around in Chile, feel free to check out the channel redeems. I have a couple fun things, including tarot reads and some fun sounds if you are interested in that. Otherwise, we'll dive right back in. So, it's 9 p.m. Closing time draws near on this, my first day of running the cafe. As I finish scribbling down orders onto a pad of receipt paper, I rip the page out and hand it over. So, 3 secret blends, 1 small and 2 grandes. That'll be 7 gold. He's been scowling like this ever since he finished his first cup. Truthfully, he looks more mystified than anything else. After the first cup, he'd sat shell-shocked for several minutes, then sprung up and demanded 2 more of the same drink in quick succession. When they were ready, Kiana and I had huddled together, watching him discreetly over the tops of our own lattes. He never took more than 1 small sip at a time, crossing his arms quietly, ruminating over the taste before going back for another sip. We lost count of how many times he furrowed his brow, how many pictures he took, or how many notes he typed into his phone. After half an hour, I thought he'd finally admitted defeat, but... Mikhail, 7 gold. Right now, Mikhail is clutching onto his gold, pouting comically. He looks like a child who doesn't want to give up his favorite marbles unless his parent agrees to trade him a cookie. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I almost feel sorry for him. No matter how hard he racks his brain, he's never gonna figure out the secret. Wait, why do I feel more guilty for cheating at coffee than I did for wrecking his car? Oh, right. Yeah, here. Thanks. Here's your change. I don't get it. How? Tell me how. It's all finally too much for his pride, and he explodes, slamming his hands down on the counter. Hello, is it Aura Inc? Welcome in. I'm doing wonderful today. Thank you for the follow. Doing a little raid train, and we're raising funds for the American Heart Association. So we're doing a little queer double feature gay magic, fun stuff. So I've been playing A Pinch of Magic. This is my first playthrough. We've been playing it for a little over an hour and a half now, I think. Our character, Friendship, here is trying to revive her grandma's coffee shop, and this is our lovely childhood mermaid friend who has now got a human form and is hot. And then this guy in the middle is our evil coffee critic trying to ruin us, but he can't because our coffee is amazing, and he's having a little fit right now. And this is what I get to do on my day off from my regular job. So it's a perfect way to spend my free day. This place has terrible reviews everywhere. It's a dead spot online. There's no way the coffee could be this good. Wait, terrible reviews. When he sees that I have no intention of answering him, Mikhail clasps his head, defeated and sighs. He's still pouting like a little kid. Tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow to make absolutely sure it wasn't a fluke. I'm not writing my review until I know you're not cheating. So bring your A game. Looking forward to it. Ugh! He concedes and stomps away to gather up his phone, and as he moves out of earshot, a very apologetic-looking Kiana takes his place. She leans in and whispers in my ear, "Is he going to be all right? He looks kind of upset." "He'll get over it, and I have a feeling you might turn out to be quite useful." As I'd done for Mikhail, I write out her receipt and pass it on. "Here you go. How are the lattes? Not salty enough?" She puts her hand to her face, cheeks pink with contentedness. "Not at all. They were perfect. Even more so than your grandmother's. Your kelp lattes leave me feeling completely refreshed. Being out of the sea for so long sure must be tough, huh? Anytime you need a pick-me-up, you know where I am." "Thank you." Just as Mikhail is making his way back, Kiana puts her hand into her purse, fishing around for gold. She's fumbling a little like she's having trouble. I forgot. Maybe she doesn't even know how human currency works yet. But before I can cover her, Mikhail steps forward, trying to act chivalrous. "No need to be flustered. I've more than enough for the both of us." "Oh, it's fine, I think. Here, is this enough?" She tips out the entire contents of her purse onto the table. A whopping, shiny mountain of gold. Individual coins spill off the counter onto the floor. "What the?" Kiana, it was 8 gold, not 800. "Oh. Well, that's okay. I have so much anyway. Just take it." She turns to Mikhail with the sweetest innocent smile. "Would you like me to pay for yours too, Mr. Mikhail?" No, it's..." Mumbling something about how he already paid, Mikhail picks his jaw up off the ground and quickly sees himself out. "Did I say something wrong?" No, you didn't. Don't worry about him." I pause, thinking back to what Mikhail had let slip earlier. "Kiana, this cafe... does it have a bad reputation in Linsdale?" Late into the night, I'm staring absent-mindedly into Baba's crystal ball with my head on the table, a fuzzy blanket around my shoulders, and Hannibal in my lap. Baba's rabbit-shaped letter is still hopping about on the desk, deftly dodging all of Hannibal's impish paw swipes. All around us, the dustpan and broom go about their nighttime cleaning. Sweep, sweep. Sweep, sweep, sweep. I still can't stop thinking about it. Terrible reviews, that's what he said. Kiana didn't seem to know anything about it, but then again, I doubt she'd pay much attention to something like that. No reason not to just find out myself once and for all. I slipped my phone from my pocket, punched in a few keywords, and hit enter. Sure enough, it turns up dozens of results. None of them good. About this, at least, it turns out Mikhail hadn't been exaggerating after all. Dismal star ratings, mentions of the crummy decor, photographic evidence of bad service. There's even one that looks like a secret shot taken from under someone's armpit? No way. I was just plain asleep in this one. At the counter. Just not even trying to hide it. All of the public reviews, at least, seem to have been written from the point of view of outsiders. But that doesn't comfort me much. It only means that Linsdale residents still care enough about Baba as a friend to not out her online. And let me guess, all these ratings go back, yep, 3 years. Not so subtly back to the end of my last summer at Linsdale. Suddenly extremely irked all over again, I grab a pillow and hurl it in the direction of the bookcase. Several old ledgers come tumbling down and clatter on the ground. Honestly, Baba, you're a powerful witch. If you didn't want to run a cafe in the first place, why didn't you just do literally anything else? This is exactly why Dad's always worried about you. After screaming out some of my frustrations into the void, I haul myself over to the tatty pile of books and start gathering them up. Hannibal trots near, stepping all over the ledgers, then curls up on them for a snooze. She's about as helpful as a sixth toe. And what about you, Didn't think to mention that tidbit, did you? The truth is, even if her heart had never really been in the cafe, I know exactly why Baba chose to stay in Linsdale all these years. Once she'd laughed and told me it was because she could lie on the sand in a bikini drinking coconut juice every day, but really, it was because of all the shirtless surfers, wasn't it? I pick up the last of the ledgers, shaking Hannibal off the cover, but I stop when I realize it's this year's edition. Something in me holds back from returning it to the shelf before taking a peek inside. A feeling, or more like a terrible witch's intuition, that Baba had one more bony skeleton in her closet, waiting for me to discover it. Her escape, the bad reviews, the empty pantry, the shifty locals, even the brand new tablet. All the clues were aligning to suggest one very damning picture. So I thumbed through the first few pages and... my face grows ashen. I knew it. She's totally broke. It's almost as if I can feel the skeleton of fate springing from the darkness of that proverbial closet to put its hands around my neck. But that's not all. At my feet, the tiny paper rabbit bounds up, cruelly announcing by a cute little tilt of its head that it has one more message for me. It levitates up and unfolds itself in the air, stopping at eye level. A space at the very bottom of the letter slowly stains with ink. A second postscript that had been hidden until this exact moment. Friendship, PPS. That's right. I'm broke. Don't know how that happened, really. Be a dear and sort something out before I have to file for bankruptcy. I believe in you. Thanks, Bubba. At the crack of dawn, the alarm goes off. My eyes snap open and I launch myself out of bed, almost burying a sleeping Hannibal in the duvet. I shake off. After a brisk run on the spot, I slap my face a few times until I'm absolutely fully awake and ready to deal with this nightmarish situation. All right, action plan for today. Step 1, get dressed. I tear the wardrobe door open, throwing whatever I touch first onto my body. Being fashion conscious isn't going to make a difference today. Okay. Step 2. Don't think about how much pain you're going to inflict on Baba when she shows her face. No plotting, no curses, no hexes, nothing. Focus. Today is about customers, cash, and coffee. Nothing else. But mostly cash. I leave the bedroom behind and hurry down the corridor towards the kitchen, snapping life into the closed curtains and air conditioner with my fingers as I go. Cool air and sunlight flood the room just as I step outside to flip the sign. With the sign set to open, I pause briefly to place a kind hand on the warm cafe wall and take in the crisp, briny morning. Morning, coffee curiosities. It's a beautiful day. Step 3. Save this place. Save my home. Tell me, because I'm dying to know. Do the bricks ever talk back? I turn about to see him grinning mischievously and clearly in a better mood than I'd expected today. The bare skin peeking out above his t-shirt is already glistening a little from the tropical morning heat. You look... Don't say cute. Don't say cute. Don't say cute. Sweaty. Do you like sweaty? He throws his head back, laughing at my reaction, before taking a few steps closer. I'm just teasing. Mostly. Listen. I did some thinking last night over in the... quite honestly, very subpar hotel I stayed in. My car's in for repairs, so looks like I'll be stuck here a while, you see. So I'm not here for a fight. But so long as I'm here, I will take another cup of that special house blend of yours. Every day. For research purposes only. The image of the dusty old pile of ledgers in Baba's secret room flashes up in my mind. The red ink scrawled across their pages, the zeros backing every number. Suddenly I'm feeling very amenable to keeping Mikhail around as much as possible. Necessary evil, honestly. You'll never figure out the recipe for that blend. But you spend 20 gold a day at least for as long as you're here, and maybe I'll agree to let you in on the secret. A slow smile spreads across his face. Fine. Well, come in then. You're darkening my doorstep. He actually laughs a little at that. Charming. Don't I even get a hello? I reserve hospitality for customers I actually like. At the end of his second grande-sized cup, Mikhail composes himself, then pleats his fingers together and rests his arms on the counter. It's passable. Wouldn't kill you to exercise humility for 2 seconds and just admit it's the best coffee you've ever tasted. Now that the shock of the first dozen sips and the feeling of being put on his backside has worn off, it seems like Mikhail's able to at least pretend to be critical of the taste. Well, I suppose there's something to be said for the magic gradually losing its potency the more it's ingested. Nothing I can do about that. So, enlighten me. What's that? Mikhail tilts his chin toward the small signboard and chalk sticks I'd found yesterday inside the hatchbox, which are now lying on the countertop waiting to be transformed into an advertising masterpiece. Coffee Curiosities is scrawled across the top in multicolored, chunky block letters, along with a cascading list of some of the more attractive items on the menu. I wrote the wording late last night, but the sign's still most definitely missing some much-needed pizzazz. Oh, that. It's step 1 of my grand marketing master plan. If that's your best attempt at marketing, I bet your first idea was a train wreck. How about you let the clear expert here give you some tips, and in return you give me that recipe? Gee, how about, no. Just as he's opening his mouth again, the bell at the front door jingles, cutting Mikhail's needling short. Moments later, Kiana shyly peers inside. Oh, hey, morning! Good morning, friendship. Oh, and Mr. Mikhail, good morning to you too. Kiana takes a seat beside Mikhail, and while I start to mix her up a kelp latte, she spots the signboard and pastel chalks lying on the side. Her eyes immediately light up. Oh, you're making a who sign? Menu board? Cuisine menu board, Kiana. And yep, some drawings of teacups are cute little animals, and it'll be ready to go outside. Can I help with the pictures? Sure. I mean, go ahead. Knock yourself out. It'll be okay, right? I mean, her drawings must have improved at least a little bit, right? That's a pretty lousy interpretation of a penguin. Penguin? No. That's a tuna in a top hat. Alright, now that's definitely a giraffe, right? Actually, it's an oarfish. A pelican? This one's a seahorse. At least they're all sea-themed? By now the board is so smudged with chalk residue, there's nothing to be done but erase everything and start over. I quickly put a hand on Kiana's sagging shoulder before she can do any more good-intentioned damage. Don't worry, Kiana. If you want to help with marketing, you can help me with something else, okay? Okay. Why are you doing this? Is the cafe in a lot of trouble? I have been delicately wiping the board clean with a wet cloth, but Kiana's comment stops me in my track. Since the moment I'd woken up this morning, I'd been putting on an energetic front, deliberately avoiding negative thoughts to trick even myself into believing I could do this alone. But truthfully, I'm floundering, and I don't want to lie to Kiana. So, despite Mikhail's snooping, beady-eyed presence, I decide to come clean. Well, actually, after openly divulging the situation and the alarming state of the ledgers I'd found the night before, Mikhail and Kiana both sit quiet and pensive for a minute. Surprisingly, Mikhail is the one to break the silence. Unsurprising, he goes straight back to judgmental jabbing. Well, I may just get some juicy tidbits for my blog yet. He leans back, shrugging his shoulders in a smug, exaggerated way. Hey, hi, Candy. Just crawling out of bed. Awesome. I'm so happy to be here. I think this raid train is amazing, and it gave me an excuse to pull out some more of my queer visual novel games that have been sitting on my Steam list that I haven't gotten around to playing, so I love it. Honestly, if I wasn't doing the raid train today, I would still be in bed myself, so. He leans back, shrugging his shoulders in a smug, exaggerated way. I mean, really, what did you expect? This place is practically falling apart. I begrudgingly cast my eyes over the room, unable to deny it. I know. And there are earthquake-level cracks in the floor. I know. And the owner has a nasty habit of being mean to 50% of their paying customers. Do you take pleasure from being equal parts correct and infuriating? Always. Just when I expect him to follow up with yet more insults, Mikhail's face grows uncharacteristically serious. Look, just because your coffee is actually somewhat decent, I'll level with you. You want to dig yourself out of this mess, there's only one tool that's going to serve you best as a shovel. He slips his phone from his pocket and holds it up to my face as evidence. 3 words. Social media campaign. You need money, and the only way to guarantee that is to drag customers in on a wave. New people, city people, people willing to spend, outsiders who'll flock to this place for the authentic hook after you've spruced it up a little. Because let's face it, nobody in this town is willing to come here. Drop Linsdale like they've dropped you. You don't need them. What you need is fresh blood and aggressive strategy. And luckily for you, I'm feeling unusually sympathetic. So I'll extend an olive branch just this once and help you make that happen. The bulk of his speech wrapped up, Mikhail leans back with his arms behind his head, a small smile playing at the edge of his mouth. Well, it's not like you'd stand a chance using this method without me. Looks like I'll have to agree to be your knight in shining armor just this once. Awesome! I hope you enjoy, and I hope you have a good day at work. Well, I think you're wrong. As I glance over at Kiana, I realize she looks genuinely a little hurt by Mikhail's words. Linsdale is filled with good, kind people. Maybe they stopped coming to Coffee Curiosity because Friendship's grandmother didn't run the cafe very well. But they really are good. We shouldn't hold that against them. I'm sure they will come back here if we tried to, reach... Is that the right word? Out to them? Kiana. So, please don't give up on Linsdale yet, Friendship. If you could show the locals that this is a worthwhile place to come to, that the food and drinks are tasty, and the service is good, this cafe will survive, right? I'm sure the residents of Linsdale will come if you ask them, so I'll help you. I blink at the two in front of me, a little astonished by their arguments. They're both actually making a great deal of sense. But whoever's approach I decide to follow, that probably means we'll be spending a lot of time together from now on. In that case, I guess I'll... Okay. There's no question I'm working with Kiana. I mean, duh. We have to get cozy with the bestie. Yeah, Linsdale is Papa's town, and considering the good memories I have here, I'd like to think it's my town too. That's not going to change. Getting the people of Linsdale back on our side, rebuilding a relationship with them, should be my top priority. You're right, Kiana. Linsdale is Coffee Curiosity's home. We should focus our efforts here. I'm so glad. All right, I'll see you tomorrow then. Out of the corner of my eye, I see Mikhail shrug, dissatisfied, but he chooses not to push any further. For the rest of the day, Kiana and Mikhail stay at the cafe, each offering advice from their own perspectives. Not a single other customer comes in to order, and for once, I'm glad. Planning takes priority, and before we know it, our discussion is stretched well into the afternoon and beyond, until the sunset calls an end to our little council. As night rolls in, I say goodbye to a sleepy Kiana and Mikhail, close up and decide to catch an early night myself, knowing I'll need all the rest I can get to prepare for the toil ahead. My head hits the pillow and my eyes immediately grow heavy. I've just enough awareness left in my brain to wonder how well this new partnership of mine is really gonna work out before I slip off into a troubled sleep. It's beautiful, isn't it? I look over to the girl on my left, her face brimming with contentment. Even the sun can't help but take a dip in the water. Isn't it wonderful? The sunset peaks over the horizon, surrounding us in a golden pink glow. The water ripples against the sand beneath our feet. It really is beautiful. But why? Why are you crying? Sadness. Ugh. We were so excited to get ideas rolling yesterday, but now I have to actually start working on them all. Why is brainstorming so much more fun than actually doing any of the ideas? I mean, I can relate. I hesitantly throw the covers off my bed, disturbing Hannibal in the process. Kiana will probably be here in an hour or so. I shouldn't make her wait. As usual, no one is clamoring at the door to order. I wonder how many people even know we're open for business. I get out the broom while thinking about our action plan. Sweet. First, this place needs a whole makeover. It looks like it hasn't seen a customer since Baba was a kid. The walls need patching. Maybe we can throw a new coat of paint on, some decorations. Next, we'll need a marketing campaign, whatever that means. Mikhail mentioned it, but it sounded like a bunch of business nonsense. But I did have some practical ideas for getting the word out, like flyers and promotions. Ken and I could figure that out later once we get done with the renovations. We also need to finish the new menu. Baba never had the best taste for what's hip. Where do we even start? Good morning. Good morning. I turned around to greet Kiana, only to see her looking in arms full of paint supplies, carpentry tools, and more. What is all that? Tools! Does she even know what half of them are for? What are we gonna do with all of it? You said this place could use a fresh coat of paint, so I brought some, and some brushes. She holds up a hammer and screws. Oh, and this is for the walls. Kiana's idea of home improvement sure is a lot less funny when I picture her doing it to the cafe. Okay, let's set all that down over here and not scratch up the tile. Where did you get... No, I think some things are better left unknown. Let's see. You got 4 different paint buckets here.
You're my friends now. We're having soft tacos later.
Thank you for the follow, Unicorn X. Welcome in. It's so nice to have you here, joining us for a little story time. Each a different color and different type of paint. We have nails that are all different lengths, some plywood. Yep. The wall cracks need replastering, so that's what this is for. The paint is for covering up the plaster, and this paint is for repainting all the walls with scuff-resistant material. We'll need some new decorations, so depending on where the studs are in the walls, we might need different length nails and some screws just in case we need repairs. This paint is just for furniture. It's glossy but durable and should give them all a brand new shine. She might actually know her stuff. Where did you learn all of this? I love watching those cute home decor videos on the line. I might have spent an entire week binging home craft tutorials once. This is great, though. We might actually be able to make this place look great. I certainly don't know the differences in paint and nail types. I'll start replastering the cracks. You can place this tarp down and repaint the tables. Sounds good. Little fixer-up makeover. Ugh. I thought painting was fun. No, it's just a pain. And just repainting tables. Why is it so tiring? I look over at Kiana, who started staring at a replastered crack, wiping a bead of sweat from her brow. We've barely started, but I already feel so indebted to her. I couldn't have done this alone. I can't do this alone. Just her being here makes me feel so much more confident. I can't let our efforts go to waste. All right. Kiana jumps at my sudden outburst. We haven't said anything in the past hour. Is something the matter? It's lunchtime. That's what. Take a break and I'll make us something to eat. It's already been a few hours, huh? All right. I'll let you handle it. What are you thinking about? How about an Eggs Benedict? For lunch? I don't have the heart to tell her that I haven't had breakfast yet. Yeah, why not? Sure. She walks over to one of the chairs I haven't started fixing and closes her eyes. I take out the eggs and muffins, but sneak a glance at her at times. She's deep in thought on something. We haven't spoken in years, but here we are, thrown into fixing this broken mess. What's happened since I left? Kiana? She snaps out of her thoughts. Yes? What have you been up to? Up to? It feels like I spend half my time at home, half my time wandering up here. What do you do up here? Some humans aren't the most keen on what's best for everybody, and that includes what's best for mermaids. A few corporations and towns have been discreetly polluting the waters. Not enough to be immediately lethal to us, but enough to hurt us over generations. They're not doing it out of malice, just not caring, thinking about their numbers rather than the living things they might be affecting. I think she means malice, but I digress. I'm so sorry to hear that. What can you even do about it? I can stand outside their offices and yell. My father gave me permission to venture out to the human world to try to stop this, but it's easier said than done. The corporations don't want to listen to problems. They want cost-effective solutions. But I won't give up. I haven't given up at the past 172 board meetings, so I won't be stopped yet. What a trooper. If you won't give up, then neither will I. It's been a rough few days, but we've made so much progress. The furniture doesn't look scary to sit in, and the walls are looking more sturdy by the day. No longer will the place look like it's falling apart. It'll be the talk of the town. Just you see, Baba. Still, where did Kiana run off to? It's chilly out here so close to the water, but it looks so inviting. Kiana and I would spend so much time out here enjoying the view and the cool touch of the water. Most families have already picked up to return home for the night, but I can make out the silhouette of a person in the water. The person walks into the ocean calmly until they fall forward into the water. Hey, are you okay? I rushed to the spot only to find a drop-off in the water and have to stop myself from falling in. It's so dim here, but I'm able to make out the person, albeit in a different form. Kiana! Her mermaid form is so regal now. But who's the man she's with? A man? Have they agreed to the new policies? I haven't checked in with them yet. What were you doing the past few days, Leia? You're not to be idling about. You're to fix this. Hey, Bunny. Happy Friday. So lovely to see you. I hope you're having a good day. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for the subby. Do I need to send someone else to finish your job? No, I'll finish it, Father. People are hurting. We can stop that. Remember that. The man gives her a nod and then steps into the ocean. Kiana just stares at the spot he was standing. The breeze ripples the water and her hair. We gotta comfort our friend. I left her years ago. I'm not gonna sit by and do nothing again. I trudge through the cold, uneven sand until I'm a few feet away. She doesn't move. Kiana? I'm sorry, friendship. I thought I could handle both. When I saw you were back in town, I was so excited. I thought I could still help my people, while also helping you. You need to prioritize the health of your own people. I understand. You've already been such a big help to me. I can't thank you enough. She nods, staring at the sea. You've helped me, so let me help you. What do you need to do? We still need the city to sign off on the new restrictions that would force corporations in town to dump waste in a new, secure facility. But just mermaids backing it won't be enough. They gave me a stack of papers for a petition. It'll need at least hundreds of names before the city council will consider a new anti-pollution bill. So we need more people on board. Wait. What was that marketing campaign thing Mikhail was talking about? You want my help with what? It's an eco-friendly thing. That could be the spin the cafe needs to stand out. You said we need a hook, right? I have to be careful not to mention why Kian is adamant about this conversation effort. Yes, but... Okay, so you want to go green with the cafe and help promote this local issue? How are you going to do it? The bill needs 1,000 signatures before it'll be reviewed by the city council. We can help advertise that with the opening of the cafe. Let people experience an environmental friendly dining experience. Yes. Well, it's a hook all right, but only if the rest of the cafe matches the branding. What kind of straws are you using? Plastic? To-go cups? Plastic? Is there anything in here that is eco-friendly? Baba didn't strive for any products other than bottom of the line. Mikhail shakes his head while Kiana looks horrified. You can't say you want to support this bill and then have all of these things that say otherwise. It's all or nothing. Yeah. We'll get some of those paper biodegradable to-go cups and metal straws for drinks here. And metal straws for in-store drinks. I guess I'll pack up the plastics for a slow day or something. It'd be a waste to throw them out. Okay, that's something to start on. Have you made flyers yet? No. That's probably a good thing then. Let's emphasize the comfy and healthy aesthetics. Make sure the flyer feels like how you want the cafe to project. Oh, we'll draw kelp on it. Sure, what else? Fish? Fish? Yeah, they'll be swimming. Does the cafe even serve fish? No, of course not. Mikhail gives me a dumbfounded look. I give him a shrug and a smile. Well, let's take a step away from the fish idea, though I do like the kelp idea. To go with the kelp, how about we include different organic ingredients we use? That could work. You could gear an entire campaign around informing customers on what's in their drinks. There was this one cafe I went to that had tours to go with their ingredient farm. Okay, so we'll have the flyers highlight different organic ingredients. Sounds good. Yes, we can have each flyer highlight a different drink and what goes into it. She's brimming with delight. Even Mikhail can't help but smile. I'll start on the flyers now. Thanks, Kiana. Mikhail brushes off his pants and stands up. Sounds like you two have it figured out then. Yeah, I think this is a good way forward. Thank you for helping us. Well, considering I wasn't even expecting the cafe to come this far, consider it a freebie. Save me a seat at the reopening. I will. He waves and heads out the door. What an odd guy. I turn back to see Kiana furiously scribbling on papers. Maybe we should print out the text on the flyers first, and then add the doodles to them. I sigh and head back to the table. Finally, the renovations are complete. I'm afraid to take off some of the tarps until the grand reopening, though. We still have a lot of paint and tools lying around. But the majority is done. I've never thought I'd see the day. Just wait until Baba sees this place. She won't even recognize it. Kiana had to leave a few hours ago to meet with the city council, but she should be back soon. I have to thank her for all her hard work. It's not the most quaint, but maybe a home-cooked meal will do. What do I cook her, though? Pasta primavera. That sounds good. I'll make her some pasta primavera. She'll love all the veggies. I grab out some vegetables and start chopping away. Can't forget the sun-dried tomatoes. I never pictured myself returning here in this way. Baba gone, the shop in disarray, reuniting with Kiana. It's been a wild couple of weeks for sure. But I don't regret it. Running a shop on my own certainly wasn't in my plans for the future. And I'm not even sure I'll want to do it for long after we get back off the ground. But I'll see where it takes me. Of course, I'm not even sure if it'll get back off the ground. We've put in so much work renovating it, but it'll be useless if people still keep the stigma of how it was in their minds. I can't let all of our hard work go to waste. Kiana's put so much effort into this. She's worried about her people's health, and yet she's still here helping me so much. What a good friend. Friend? Coming in. Kiana steps in with a dejected look. Do I want to know how the council meeting went? No. They told us we'll need even more signatures to get it to pass. Well, how many? She pulls out a stack of papers. All of these. All of them have to be verifiable signatures too, not just random names. She slumps down on a couch. It's like they just don't care. They can't see the damage. They don't feel the damage, so they don't care. They think it's beyond their control. If I could show them what it's doing, they'd change their minds. If I could just drag them underwater. Let's avoid you getting arrested for kidnapping. I sit down across from her and place a hand on hers. We'll figure out a way. Trust me. She sighs. I just wish I believed that. She idly flips through her phone, an older version of a smartphone she got secondhand from somewhere, where I go back to tending to dinner. I don't know much about her home, but I know it's far, far below the water. Too far for consumer-grade equipment to reach. They have adapted in their own ways to the darkness, with ways of having natural light, but a typical consumer-grade underwater camera would never be able to document down there. Unless we were to get a dive team with recording equipment, we'd never be able to show them what it's like down there right now. And that's if the city would even care. Now I'm making myself depressed. I stir the pan vigorously, trying to refocus myself. Just a nice dinner for the two of us. We can worry about the cafe and the bill tomorrow. Just some quiet time. All right, here we are. I set the pasta primavera down in front of her. Her worries quickly fade as she smells the food. Let me turn on the light. I quickly walk over to the light switch and flick them on to figure out which one is for where she's sitting. When I finally find the one for her table, the light busts. Oh! Ack! When's the last time Bubba replaced these bulbs? I'll get a replacement, just wait. I run to the back of the shop to one of Baba's knick-knack cupboards, but it's in vain. There's no light bulbs for the ceiling lights. Well, at least she has some candles. Oh, no. We're gonna have to have dinner by candlelight. What a shame. So, long story short, no more light bulbs, but we have candles. I set them on the table and light them with a snap. The glow from them in this half-abandoned cafe almost looks eerie, but against her face it feels warm and inviting. A quiet candlelit meal, just the two of us. She gives me a half smile and we dig into our meals. The exhaustion from the day, no, from the past few weeks, sets in while we're eating. I feel myself slouch down in the chair, the weight of it all rolling off of me. We both eat most of our food in silence before slowing down and meagerly picking at it. Kiana idly pokes at a bell pepper slice. I never realized how nice it was to sit down with someone for a quiet meal like this. At home we had meals together, but you could hardly call it family time when the table was gigantic. We never had a casual sit-down time. Everything was under the pretense of being noble. She rests her fork down. I love them all, but it's so suffocating. My brother and sisters all act fine with it. Maybe they aren't, but they hide it. They play along. Is it because I play along? Are they just following their older sister? Should I have done something? She puts her head in her hands. And then you have this city council refusing to listen to us. We have to jump through all these hoops and holes to be heard. It feels like I don't have a say in anything. Kiana, what do you want to do? And now I have you asking me the tough questions. Would you roll your eyes if I said, I don't know? I feel like I'm being pushed from place to place, yet I don't know where it is I'd go if I weren't. Just an indecisive mess. Sometimes Sometimes I think it's okay to go with where the wind takes you if you don't know. That's how I came back here and revived the cafe. I don't really know where I want to be or what I want to do. But I know magic is important to me, and so is this place. So if that's where the wind goes, that's where I'll go. Maybe along the way I'll find something better, but I won't know until I try. What I'm trying to say is, if you prioritize what's important to you and move towards that, it'll feel less like a rocking boat in the sea, and more like you have a hand on the wheel. Okay, maybe a fishing analogy wasn't the best for a mermaid, but still. And I'll help you figure that out if you want me to. We can figure out what the future has in store for both of us. Friendship, thank you, really. I love my family, and I love my people, but I really couldn't care less about being a ruler someday. I want to help them all, but I feel like I could do more groundwork right now. But I didn't say we had to figure out everything right now. We can do it together, on our own terms. She nods, giving me a serene smile in the dim lighting. Yeah, we'll figure it out together. Oh, it's so pretty now. Come to our cafe's grand reopening. Kiana waves a flyer in her hand at the crowds, hoping to pique at least someone's attention. The two of us have been out here for a solid hour, with not many people biting. At this rate, we'll have so many wasted flyers, we might get a ticket for littering. We have salty kelp lattes. They're really good. She tries handing a flyer to a small child, but she refuses, clinging to her mom instead. Kiana sighs and looks over at me at our table. Our small table has a complimentary coffee, more flyers on the cafe and our menu, and several stacks of papers on the anti-pollution bill with glass fish statues for paperweights. Kiana thought they were cute. So far, we've had 10 people try the coffee and 1 person sign the petition. A few people took a flyer out of sympathy, but threw them away in the next block. We have a new menu and a new interior, and no mold now. This by far was going to be the most exhausting day yet. I pour a cup of coffee and grab a flyer. Free coffee if you take a flyer and sign our anti-pollution petition. No takers. Is the cafe's bad reputation that bad? Is no one willing to change their mind? Was it ever possible to revive it? I look over at Kiana, who's putting on her best customer service face, trying to talk to strangers. Even amidst her people's health crisis, even amidst this failing cafe, she refuses to give up. Neither can I. I grab the boxes of leftover to-go cups and plastics and pile them onto a small cart. Outside, Kiana is still trying her best, so I'll try something too. I push the cart outside and head down a few blocks. It's been a few years, but I remember there being a popular beachside cafe down here. The owners were always pretty nice. Even if we can't get back off the ground, even if all of this won't go anywhere, I can try my hardest. That's how I'll forge my own path. The cafe is busy as usual. It's around noon after all. People are happily chatting in the booth, sipping their lattes, and eating beach-inspired blue bundt cakes. I leave the cart outside as I walk up to the counter. The lady recognizes me instantly. Oh, Friendship, it's been so long. How are you doing? I'm fine, thanks. I finished high school almost a month ago and came back for the summer. Oh, that's good to hear. How's your grandmother? MIA and probably on the run from debtors. She's away right now. I hope she's doing well. She is special, but such an interesting person to have around. What brings you over here? Want a slice of our chocolate chip beach bundt cake? Actually, I've been renovating Baba's Cafe to reopen it. We're going with an eco-friendly theming, so I got rid of all the plastic to-go packages, but didn't want to throw them away. I came to see if you wanted them. I've got them outside on a cart. A reopening? But I know it has a bad reputation in town, but I can't let it go under. I want to revive it. We've already finished the renovations on the place. So you're sure about this? I nod, not losing eye contact. Why a push for an eco-friendly experience? That's much more costly than using plastics. I want to support the new anti-pollution bill, but I can't while also contributing partly to the problem. Our plastic consumption is small, but I want to try to make a tiny difference in my own way. I don't want to see our drinks littering the beach. All right, I'll take the leftover to-go cups, but I want one of your flyers. Friendship, where'd you go? Sorry, I went to drop off the leftover plastics. I figured they'd be better used by someone else than sitting in the cabinets collecting dust. Have you had any luck? Well, this one tourist couple said they'd stop by, but I got a lot of odd looks from older couples when I told them where we're located. Maybe we should have just said we bought out the cafe and it's under new management? I sigh and head over to the table. The coffee is lukewarm in the thermos, and the petition has 3 more names on it. Well, let's give it one last push, shall we? Ever tried a saute kelp latte? Or sweetened warm bai tea? Come try them all at our grand reopening tomorrow. All of our lattes are made in-house with organic ingredients, only the freshest for our customers. Yeah? Does that include a spit in the cup, too? No, of course not. Baba, what on the earth were you doing? Make sure to let your voice be heard. Sign the petition to make the City Council review a new anti-pollution bill. Do I have to buy a coffee to sign it? No, just sign here. We may still have hundreds of flyers left, but at least Kiana is getting some signatures. As the day dwindles on, our routine quickly gets old, and we take a break to avoid being public nuisances. Want to head to the square and tack up flyers wherever we can? Let's go. The square is easily the busiest place in town right now, as people are getting off work and heading to the entertainment and eating places. Droves of people are walking around, talking, drinking, and more. It's a prime spot for business, but it's also a prime spot for advertisement. We can't stand around with the flyers here, or else we'll be loitering and asked to leave, but we can walk around to the local corkboards. On every wall and back alley here are boards for local advertisements. Typically special events like concerts or book signings. They'll be perfect places to add some of our flyers too. You head left, I'll head right. Got it. We head off in separate directions. I head towards the bars and music venue, while Kiana goes towards the restaurants and boutiques. Most of the boards are already covered in tacks and half-ripped papers, but I still try to find a place for ours. I place a couple on open tables I come across that aren't attached to an eatery, and I ask a bookstore if I can leave some on their counter. The flyers quickly start to run out as I go from block to block, placing them wherever I can. Even if people don't see them in time for the opening, they'll see them this week and come by later. Yeah, definitely. Empty? Empty. I guess we're done for the day then. Let's head back. Thank you, Kiana. Even if tomorrow doesn't go well, even if I have to close this place for good, I want you to know that I'm truly grateful for everything you've poured into this. Once the cafe reopens, I know you'll have to go back to dedicating all your time to helping your people, but I still want to hang out with you when you're not busy. I wanted to stay here and help you with the cafe. Only if you want my help, of course. What about your people, your home? I haven't told my parents yet, but I want to stay here and do what I can. I can do more good for them up here than down there. If this bill passes, then it'll save countless lives for years to come. There's still more battles to fight. Maybe in a year or two I'll realize I've done all I can, and I should go home. But I won't know unless I see where this wind will take me, and stay here first. We've been brought together again for a reason, and I want to see this through, just a bit longer. I'm sorry, I must sound so presuming. Maybe she means presumptuous? It's all right, really. I was serious when I said I want to figure out our futures together, wherever that takes us. In a few years, we might find our futures diverging, but for now, let's see where things take us, together. I really like being here with you, friendship. I like being by your side, too. When I was younger, I used to think being here at night was creepy. But somehow with Kiana by my side, everything feels less scary. It's opening day! Okay, I'm going to take just a quick pause and start checking out. We've got about 20 minutes before we pop over for the raid train. So I'm just going to double check and see if Mystic Bear is live yet. Okay, not quite yet. Not quite yet, but that's all right. I'm going to bring them up in my browser. But there they are. Oh, they are live. I thought I was following them. Jeez. Okay. So many messages. Okay. So that's good to go. So whenever we're ready, we can bring the raid train over there. But we got a little bit of time yet, so let's see how much we can get going. How much we can finish of the story before we hop over. And thank you, Aura Inc. It was very nice meeting you as well. So we'll see. I had looked online and this game was only supposed to be an hour, which is why I thought we would be able to do 2 different games today. But I'm really liking it, and we're going to keep going at least another 10 minutes or so before we raid over. So we'll see how far we can get. So, opening day! Yay! I need to make sure we have change for customers paying with big bills, and the plants need watering, and the curtains need redusting, and we've been preparing for weeks, but it feels like I still have a lot left to do. With a bit of magic, I'm able to quickly straighten the curtains, get the plants all looking nice, the chairs look in order, and the countertops are all clean. I've got the new open sign ready to go up whenever. Just breathe. We'll get through this. Somehow. Happy opening day! Kiana runs in and pulls me in for a quick hug, her hair smelling like sea breeze. I'll straighten up the pamphlets. Why don't you put up the open sign? Ah, it really is time, isn't it? She squeezes my hand. It'll be fine. I'm here. I can't help but flush. All right, it's time to open up. I grab the sign from one of the tables and head outside. As I figured, there was no line forming outside, eager to get a seat. I prop the sign up and head back in. Kiana's shuffling the petition papers, looking over the names for the 13th time. After we close up for today, I'll figure out some way to help her get the signatures. Maybe we'll ask one of the venues to have some of the papers during their events. Some way to make it up to her. Ah, I barely recognize this place. Good morning. What can I get you? Can I just have a hazelnut latte? Sure, coming right up. I grab a cup out and start whipping it up with the door when the door opens again. And again. We have a line of customers. I glance over at Kiana, who's just as bewildered as me. I can't let my surprise overtake me, though. I've got customers to attend to now. With a hint of vanilla and some hidden magic, I have the first few cups ready for our new patrons. Although we haven't filled all the tables, it's comforting to see that once was a vacant room buzz with life. Kiana chats to a couple who just received their lattes while I fix a cinnamon roll for a kid. The petition sits on the counter, slowly but surely getting filled out. Maybe this will work out after all. How'd you do it? Do what? Bring in all the new customers? No, the cross-promotion. The what? Mikhail quickly whips out his phone and moves beside me. This here. You got featured on one of the most popular local cafe's accounts. How much did it cost? Your life savings? Her life savings? Let me see that. I grab the phone from him and look at whatever he's talking about. Beachside Buns featured us. On the screen is a picture of one of our flyers with the caption talking about our revival, our eco-friendly mission, and a call to action to help support local businesses. So you really didn't know? No. I mean, I was talking to her yesterday, but I didn't think she'd do this. The door opens again as a family walks in. The cafe will be full pretty soon at this rate. I feel a few tears come to my eyes. Excuse me. It looks like I need to get back to work. Come back and see us. The last patron exits the store and Kiana locks it behind him. I deflate over the countertop, too tired to check the cash register to close out for the day, or even check how much we made. It's over. How much do you think we made? A lot. She smiles and pats my head. You're gonna get back pains if you sleep like this. Then move me. To my surprise, she walks around and wraps an arm around my back, lifting me up slightly. Oh, wait, I was kidding. Too late. Kiana carries me towards the back of the store and into my room. She sets me down on my bed. All right, get dressed. Huh? We're going swimming. It's the perfect way to relax your muscles and mind after a long day. Yeah, maybe for a mermaid. There's still some sunlight left outside if we hurry. Come on. Okay. Kiana shuts the door behind her. I have half a mind to fall back on my bed and sleep, but I know she'll just come in and wake me back up. Out of choices, I put on a bathing suit and cover up and head out with her. Has it always been this chilly in the evenings? She laughs gently, tucking her hair behind her ear with one hand and clasping my hand with the other. It'll feel much better once we're underwater. Trust me. Wait. Underwater? You remember I can't breathe underwater, right? It'll be okay. She pulls me closer to her and the water. The water splashes around us as we step into the ocean. The breeze is crisp, but I don't care now. Hold your breath. One moment she's standing chest deep in the water, holding my hand. The next moment we're both underwater. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have been able to fill out the petition. I'd still be scared of the future, feeling I don't fully belong anywhere. But when you're here, I don't feel afraid. I feel brave. I want to stay with you and the cafe. The tides of change may come and go, but as long as I'm by your side, they can wash over me without knocking me down. Are you running out of air? Then Kiana places her lips on mine. Together we'll be okay. The end! We made it! Perfect timing! Oh, that was so cute. I loved it. I hope you all loved it too. Alright, let's switch over to just chatting. So, we'll do a little wrap up here. Thank you for being a part of joining the raid train and following us along. We're going to be raiding over into Mystic Fairy in just a quick moment here. Just gotta check a few things and make sure we're good to go. Checking the Discord for this. Check-ins and swaps. All right. So, everything looks good there. Everything looks good here. Okay, so I'm gonna start the raid countdown, and then I'll kind of do my spiel while that counts down. I forgot to make a special raid message for the raid train, but I'll throw out my regular message there so you can copy that. When we go over here, I can't spell. I can't spell. How do we spell? M-Y-S. Oh, yeah. Oh, I can't use my computer keyboard. There we go. There we go. May contain sexual themes. We're going for some adult. Okay, so we got 84 seconds. So I stream normally now on Sundays. I switched that up because Mondays are just hard. First day of work and all that jazz. So Sundays, Elden Ring with Mr. Friendship. And then whenever else things come up like this raid train, I will be doing a trans empowerment raid train coming up sometime in March. So watch socials. I'll be posting when that's coming up. And also a bi-pan awareness raid train. That's also going to be somewhere around there. Maybe March or April-ish. Got my podcast. Links are in the about section. You can go to my link tree. I've got the podcast. I have my VODs up on YouTube. I've got Instagram. I've tried to be all the places. Yeah, so do a little cosplay, a little bit voice acting, a little bit, I got a little shop. I do so many different things. I'm always busy. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to sit still. So hopefully I'll see you around again sometime, and we'll talk to you over at Mystic Fairy stream. Bye!
Welcome the With Love Raid Train. Welcome in, everybody. How are you?